You know the story. A successful, stressed out Melbourne business owner sells everything up and makes a sea change to a beautiful spot like this in Byron Bay. So it's not surprising, with a clear mind, he dreamt up a game-changing design for out there.
I was up here, and like a lot of things, you stop trying to come up with ideas and you have your best ideas. So, you know, staring out at that amazing water out there on a day where there was no wind and thinking, I want to get out there on my hydrofoil kite surfboard. How can I do that, you know? And having this idea of putting a motor on there, just sort of, wow, bang. You know, instantly I could kind of see what this thing could be. And I drew a little sketch on my iPad, and just that idea of being out there on the water, having complete freedom, just having this little remote in your hand, being able to go anywhere you want to go in near silence, flying above the water, I really got it instantly. And if anything, the end result's been better than I probably imagined, because it's more accessible for people to learn than I first thought.
So David, this is the assembly plant. This is where it all comes together.
Yeah, we're putting boards together here, and we've got eFoils in another area and batteries being assembled upstairs.
And this little baby here, this is one of your very first prototypes?
Yeah, this is one of the first boards that we built. Shaped the board, built the board, used some off-the-shelf parts in terms of foil components and things, and the mast. Had to develop this motor system, putting the motor inside the fuselage. There's a lot of challenges with building a product like this in that we're dealing with high voltage batteries, a lot of electronics, and you're using it in the surf, like in probably the worst environment you can have on Earth. So the amount of effort we've had to put in and testing and development over the last 3 years in terms of waterproofing and making everything stronger and better, it's been huge.
And I guess this is where probably a lot of the design innovation is taking place.
Exactly, lots of different motor systems that we've built. These props are all 3D printed, the first propellers. Funny story on that, my mum rang me up and said that there was a 3D printer for sale at Aldi.
No.
Yeah. But it was great because I could tweak the design, and every night I'd have a new propeller printing.
Go out, test it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so after all this thinking and tinkering and designing and refining and going sort of back to the drawing board, this is where it all comes together.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So we've got these wonderful carbon fibre wings, and this aluminium assembly. We've got electronics up the top and down the bottom. We've got our propeller there. And, you know, I think this is a really beautiful thing, as well as being incredibly functional and very efficient.
So Nathan, I guess a lot of thought going into the brains of the thing, which is really this controller.
It's been designed as a complete user experience. It has an incredible amount of electronics inside it, great software that gives the user continuous and accurate feedback.
And the little trigger here is, I guess, that's the accelerator, but it's also a safety switch, because if I fall and let go, it shuts off.
Correct.
Right?
It's what we call a dead man switch. As soon as you release the trigger, the propeller stops. Once the propeller is stopped, you have to rearm the board. So there's a magnet inside the handset which has to go onto an arming pad on the board.
Okay, so that's really important, because if that feature wasn't designed in, you'd have a propeller that's spinning there.
Absolutely.
With your legs hanging in the water.
Yes. This project has been a sort of a meeting of minds in terms of Fliteboard's desires and our desires as a design team. So we've really tried at every level to think about what can lead to the world's best product in this field. Every detail has been considered, whether it be the handset or the waterproof battery, the unibody fuselage, the whole design and detailing of the board itself, the carry bags. Everything about the product has been thought through.
And at the end of it, you're putting that user slap bang in the centre of the entire process. And I love what David was saying. He said he wanted to design a board that he would actually want to go out and buy.
Absolutely, and I think that's proven to be a success, because the detail of the board that he wants is something that everyone covets. They see the board, they see the detail of it, the considered design. Everyone is excited by it, and it's a great product to ride. You'll find you have so much fun that the design fades into the background.
We've got the motor control that drives the electric motor at this end, the electric motor down here inside this fuselage. That's all housed in this aluminium, and aluminium is a fantastic heat conductor. This gets really hot, this gets really hot, because it's all connected within this aluminium, and this is in the water and the air.
It's acting as a natural heat sink.
Exactly, so it's cooling those two systems. So that's a big part of the innovation that we've come up with for the product. Yep.
So it's really as easy as that. That's in a way the big innovation. You're just able to slot that whole component
four
into
bolts.
the board.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I am absolutely dying to have a go on this thing. Do you reckon we could take it out?
I think we can organise that. What we have to do is put the controller on this little spot here to arm it, and when we're ready to go, pull the trigger. It'll be low power, and we use this plus button to go up through the gears.
Sounds simple enough. Let's do it.
I'll tell you the rest on the water. Let's go.
Here's a guy who had a vision, he stuck to it, he didn't cut any corners, and the end result is probably the best example of design innovation you're ever likely to see, and the most fun I've ever had in a wetsuit.